Once again, this game is being played according to the rules of the Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association. Let's all keep good sportsmanship at the forefront. Thank you.
Hello, football fans. Marty Nicely, along with Rob Younger, Kevin Tierney, Katie Messer, Tana Myers, whole broadcasting crew here tonight for the first home game of the season, second game of the season. GP comes into tonight, Rob, with a 1-0 record, having defeated Seymour last week. But before we get into football, let's talk about some major changes, because if people are looking at the cameras and haven't been by the stadium, they're going to be surprised with what they see.
Well, Marty, lots of changes, physical changes on the GP campus. One, you can see the beginnings of the new clubhouse in the end zone. It's going to contain a weight room, locker rooms, coaches' offices, and meeting rooms. And it is going to be beautiful when it's finished. And, of course, the big thing is we tore out the old concrete bleachers on the visitor side, put in new aluminum bleachers, and now that is the home side. And it's just a big change sending the visitors across the way. And in my opinion, it's a great change, beautiful stadium, and gets our crowd out of that early afternoon sun for about the first month of the season.
I was going to say, that was the first thing I noticed when I came up here, that this side was in the shade. The other side wasn't. So we mentioned GP comes into the game tonight 1-0 after defeating Seymour last week. They defeated Seymour 45-14. Alcoa comes into tonight's game 1-0 on the season, having a maybe tougher than what we would have expected game against Ray County, Rob. They beat Ray County 38-21.
Marty, Ray County is a pretty good 5A school. They're always competitive. They're always in the playoffs, so I wouldn't read anything into that score. But Gatlinburg-Pittman convincingly beat Seymour Eagles 45-14. And, of course, I was looking at the numbers. We're a 3A school. They're a 4A school. But Gatlinburg-Pittman has 545 students. Seymour has 1,100. And, of course, they used to be a big rival for us, so that was just a great win. Great night for the Highlanders. Great way to open up the season.
So a little bit about tonight's game. Everyone knows Alcoa. Alcoa has won 20 state championships, beginning in 77, 78, and 79. Then they had a 10-year break, won one in 89, then an 11-year break, and they've won it almost every year in the 2000s, Rob.
Well, Marty, they have 7 consecutive state championships.
But they do have a new head coach this year.
New head coach Brian Nix, but he's certainly not new to Alcoa. And Marty, oddly enough, he played at your alma mater. He played at Maryville High School, but he has been on that coaching staff 20-something years. And I think he's been the defensive coordinator at Alcoa since 2004, so there's not going to be a lot of changes that have taken place since Gary Rankin retired and took a new job. But he was a great defensive coordinator. As a matter of fact, in 2021, he won the Broyles Award for the top assistant coach in the state of Tennessee. So he's a good football coach. They haven't fallen off any there. Tremendous amount of talent, and they are one of the premier football programs in the state of Tennessee, right up there with Maryville High School.
Rob, let's talk about GP last week against Seymour. Brady Hammonds had a good game, 9-15, 169 yards through the air, 3 TDs, 3 carries for 19 yards, a very solid performance.
He did, and we spread the ball around. We had 6 touchdowns by 5 different players. ran the ball more than we passed it, but it was pretty balanced. Offense and defense had a great showing. Defense played really well. We averaged, I looked this up today, we averaged like 10.5 yards per football play on offense. Seymour, against our first defense, averaged just over 2 yards per play on our defense. So we really shut them down. Great night against them. I think with the first team, they had 7 drives of 36 plays, only had 72 total yards.
I was looking here when you talk about the rush, and Tegan Avera, sophomore, had 17 carries, 125 yards, 1 TD. He averaged 7.3 yards per carry. Then Ben Reese, sophomore running back, 3 carries, 58 yards, 19.3 yards per carry. And then Cecilio Rodriguez, freshman, 3 carries, 72 yards, 24 yards per carry.
And Marty, those 2 all young guys. Avera's a sophomore, Ben Reese is a sophomore, Cecilio Rodriguez, who played middle school football with our middle school guys last year, wonderful kid. He's only a freshman, so we've got those guys for the next several years, and they can flat out carry the football. And the great thing is, as a team, we average 10.5 yards rushing. So this is a good football team. But Marty, we know what Alcoa has. They have 2 Division I commitments on the offensive and defensive line, and they are just loaded with talent.
And Rob, that may be an area of concern for us. We have a would you say inexperienced line at some positions?
Marty, we have some new players on the offensive line. We do have a couple of veterans. We have Cuba Pack and Luciano Lopez, who are as good as anybody in this region, and then we've got some new guys. But Marty, this school and these fans have been spoiled watching Coach Tyler Williams' offensive line play for the last several years. You know, you're talking about having players like Kevin Burkett and Bo Rowland and some of those guys. But you got some new good guys. Luke Burkett, Kevin's little brother, is now playing the left guard. He's a solid player. As a matter of fact, he was the leading tackler on defense last week with 10 tackles. So we've got some good, solid players, but nowhere near the depth that this Alcoa football team is going to have.
And on the defensive side of the ball, Ben Reese, we've got him down for 10 solo tackles. Luke Burkett, 10 solo tackles. Cuba Pack, 4. Anthony Garcia, 6. So pretty consistent across the board on defense.
Well, we've got 2 run stuffers at inside linebackers. We have Kevin Burkett, and we have the Ware kid, Graydon Ware. Those guys can play the A and B gaps as good as anybody. Big, strong kids. Got 2 excellent outside linebackers, and maybe one of the best players in the region this year is Whitman Whaley, number 7. He was all over the field for us last year, and then now we've got Ben Reese playing the opposite outside linebacker. So we've got a pretty solid crew with Luciano Lopez and Luke Burkett and those guys in the middle.
Okay, we're having a moment of silence now, and then we'll have the national anthem. So we'll pause for just a minute. We'll be back after the national anthem.
Thank you, everyone. And now, our national anthem. All right.
Okay, Rob, temperature's not too bad. I was a little bit worried this afternoon. There were a lot of storms up on the mountain, but they never got down off the mountain. And I think it looks like we're going to be in the clear tonight to get this ball game in with no rain or lightning delay.
And Marty, here we go.
Rob, obviously one of the keys for GP is not to make it easy for Alcoa. Take care of the ball. No turnovers.
And Marty, take your time on offense. Run the clock. Play as good a defense as you can. Try to get some first downs. Move the chains. And, this is going to be – we'll see if we can kick this ball to the end zone here. We've had the luxury for the last several years of having a great kicking game. And, of course, Al Shirley has had a tremendous amount to do with that. And this will be number 25, Carlton Giesling, kicking off for the Highlanders. He's got a really strong leg. I think the Alcoa players are up a little too close. Maybe he can get it over their head. Carlton Giesling, of course, his granddad, Mr. Bill Giesling, was a teacher here at Gatlinburg-Pittman High School for a long time. Marty, back when they taught typing, he was a typing teacher. I don't think anybody uses typewriters anymore.
Not sure what we're paused for. For those of you that joined the live stream late, you will notice that the GP home side has changed in the new bleachers on this side of the field and the visiting team on the far side. Alcoa's brought a nice crowd for the road game. It still feels a little bit odd, but this is a good change.
It is a good change. Great idea. The stadium looks beautiful. When we get the new field house built, it's even going to be better. The players can just come right out of the locker room into the field. But, the only thing I don't like about it is from sitting in the press box here, I used to be able to look across the stands and see all my buddies, Woody Sowen and David Taylor, and some of the old-timers up there leaning against the top rail talking. And I guess now maybe we can stick our head out the window and look down on them.
So we're ready now. Giesling to kick it. Maybe Pooch kicking it, a directional Pooch. Fielded, and then it goes out of bounds at about the 36-yard line, where Alcoa will put it in play. They're going to say 35-yard line, where Alcoa will have it 1st and 10.
And Marty, I'd say that was a very good kick. I think he would have probably liked to have gotten it out of bounds inside the 30, but that was a pretty good kick. Great job by Carlton Giesling. Got a real high hop on it, and kid couldn't handle it. And
quarterback for Alcoa, a senior quarterback, very experienced. Zach Lunsford, 6'2", 190 pounds. Two wideouts far side, single running back. Handoff right side. Gets outside. And GP missed several tackles. It's going to be just short. We'll call it a 9-yard gain. We'll bring up 2nd and 1.
Well, Marty, I thought we had a good chance at a play. They came out with a tight end and a wing to the play side right here. You see Whitman Whaley, number 7, does a great job taking on the double team. Then he loses that outside shoulder at the last second. And then the running back gets outside and breaks 3 tackles and cuts it up.
That was Jordan Harris, senior running back for Alcoa.
Finally brought down by number 2, Deuce Orr, Carlos Orr. We call him Deuce.
Scoreboard says 1st and 10, but it's actually 2nd and 1. Lunsford, a quarterback. 2 wideouts both sides. Lunsford back to throw. Wide open across the middle. Complete to number 18, who breaks a tackle. Gets loose. Is finally tackled down about the 15, but I think we have a holding flag that will bring the ball back.
And I think you're right. We had pretty good pressure right up the gut and out holding against Alcoa.
It is a holding call against Alcoa. There'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot.
And Marty, good push by nose guard number 41, Enzo Gullion. And then Coach Jimmy Rowland, who recently got out of the hospital. Glad to see that he's okay. He was in the hospital for a few nights with a blood clot. Dialed up a couple of stunts right there. Brought both of those big linebackers. And Alcoa was trying to block 7 with 5 and ended up holding.
So 2nd and 15 now with the penalty from the Alcoa 30-yard line. Empty backfield, 3 wideouts far side, 2 wideouts near side. Lunsford, shotgun. Throws quickly out in the flat. And there's a good tackle.
And Marty, great pressure. The quarterback just did a great job getting rid of the football. What pressure's just right up the gut right here again. Left our right defensive tackle, Kuba Pack, or Luciano Lopez. I couldn't tell which one. Great pressure, got their hands up, but man, what a great throw and catch by Alcoa.
Pass was complete to Cannon for Alcoa. Brings up a 3rd and 5.
Marty, that was Kuba Pack bringing the pressure.
Man in motion. Lunsford keeps it, turns it up. He's going to be tackled short of the first down. Will bring up a 4th and around 2.
Marty, great defensive play by the Highlanders. Alcoa was faked the jet sweep. The quarterback keeper up the middle. I think it was number 7, Whitman Whaley, that fell in there and made the initial hit. Great job by the Highlanders. See, he fakes the jet sweep. Keeper and Whitman Whaley came in and popped him, held him didn't let him get the first down.
So back for GP Deep will be Carlos Orr. And the official is sending number 10 off. Equipment issue, I believe. Vera comes off, and number 14, Caden Froelich, goes in.
Marty got number 2, Deuce Orr, back there to receive the punt.
They kick away from Deuce. It's down at the GP 32-yard line, where GP will have it 1st and 10. First offensive possession of the game.
Marty, good showing so far. Alcoa kind of shot themselves in the foot with the holding penalty, but GP did a great job. Now we have the ball on good, basically same field position they started on. Marty, great offensive output by the Highlanders last week. Good steady play by the quarterback, threw 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions. Spread the ball around, 5 different kids scored touchdowns.
Single wide outs both sides. Hammonds in the flat to Orr. Orr forced out of bounds after a gain of about, we'll call it 7 yards on 1st down.
Marty, great play to get some pregame jitters out of the way there for your quarterback.
GP with Orr one side, Whitman Whaley on another side. Jackson Desir also wide out. Single wide outs again. Avera to running back. They go the other side to Whaley. Whaley turns it up and has the first down, looks like.
Marty smooth the silk, play action.
It is protection. A first down.
Almost a little high, great catch by Whitman Whaley.
Same formation. Avera in the backfield with Hammonds. Wide outs both sides, Whaley and Orr. Forced out of the pocket, Hammonds.
Boy, the pocket just collapsed on him. I thought he had room to run. Somebody grabbed his ankles, and
here's the replay. They sent both wide receivers deep that time. Brady gave it a little pump fake.
And Marty, the only thing about that is sending those receivers deep, you're going to have to pass protect for about 2 or 3 seconds, and against this bunch, that's going to be tough.
So loss of 5 will make it 2nd and 15. Same formation. Orr and Whaley switch sides. Whaley goes in motion. Handoff of Vera. Cuts it up. Got about all he could out of that.
Pretty good move by Vera. Basically, Alcoa has 7 players in the box, almost 8 players in the box. They've got 4 down linemen. They've got all their linebackers. They even look like they walked their strong safety up right off the edge. Of course, and man, do they have some good-looking athletes on the field.
So 3rd and 11. GP brings 2 wide outs near side. Vera in the backfield with Hammonds. Throw to Orr. A little slant pattern. He's going to come up short. Gain of about 6.
Marty,
we'll make it 4th.
Still a great play. One thing, great job by number 58, Joseph Risnick, for picking up the blitzing linebacker right there. Good pass protection, just a little bit short. If Deuce could have broken a tackle, the Highlanders would have moved the chains.
Aiden Jeanette, punt formation for the Highlanders. Deep for Alcoa, number 8, Colby Barrett. Jeanette, nice punt.
Nice punt.
Out about the 21-yard line, where Alcoa will have it 1st and 10 on their own 21.
Nice punt by Aiden Jeanette. Marty, I do not have the kicking stats or any special team stats from last week. Tried to get those, but boy, I tell you what, Al Shirley's done a great job with our kickers.
So Alcoa will have the ball for the 2nd time tonight. Lunsford at quarterback. Single wideouts both sides, single running back. Lunsford, handoff. Shooting through the gap. Had him tackled for a loss.
And Marty, that was Graydon Ware, number 34. His dad, David Ware, played here. His uncle, John Ware, played here. And Marty, watch this right offensive tackle, scoop block. And he is going to Virginia Tech. But watch this right tackle right here, scoop block. And he actually he ran by Graydon Ware, and Graydon did a great job penetrating. Big play for the Highlanders.
So loss of 2 will make it 2nd and 12.
Really proud of Graydon Ware. He came back from a serious back injury. His David and Keisha Ware's son, and has really, really worked in rehab, got his back in shape, and is one of the best
Pass into
weightlifters.
the flat. Pretty good defense that time. Pass was complete to number 8, Colby Barrett.
And Marty, great defense by, I can't read the
basically
number. That's Tegan Avera and number 7, Whitman Whaley.
Basically a gain of 4 will make it 3rd, and we'll say 8.
And Marty, the impressive part of that, the speed that Whitman Whaley showed getting out there, and Tegan Avera getting off of a stalk block and to get in on the tackle. Good play by those two guys.
3 wideouts, near side. Lunsford back to pass. Pulls it down, we'll run, and we'll have the 1st down with good extra effort. Thought we had him stopped maybe a yard short, and Lunsford, just extra effort, got the 1st down.
Great effort, great penetration. We only rushed 4 guys right there. You see Whitman Whaley coming off the edge from his outside linebacker position, but number 55, Luciano Lopez, is the one that flushed him out of the pocket, and unfortunately, he was good enough scrambler to get the 1st down.
And the Alcoa right tackle that you featured had sort of an impressive block on that on that play.
He's good. I think both of their tackles, one of them is committed to Virginia Tech, and the other one is going to the University of Indiana.
1st and 10. Lunsford, hands off. Norris gets outside, splits the defense, still on his feet, and I don't believe anybody's going to catch him. There are no flags down, so big play, which has been Alcoa's mantra for the last several years. You have them contained, and then all of a sudden they break what was about a 68-yard run.
And Marty, the outside linebacker did his job right there. He didn't lose contain. You see Deuce Orr right there missing the tackle, and then a couple of other kids, and then he just outran everybody.
Number 1. Kick is up and good. So with 4:27 left to go here in the 1st quarter, Alcoa on about a 68-yard run takes the early lead, 7-0.
Marty, while we have a little pause in the action, just want to thank a few of the people that have done a great job here at the high school. starting with the GP staff, Principal Gary Stennett. And Marty, you talked about it during the game, what a great job Conchita Omby did. I walked into the booth and I had some charts and stuff ready, but she had it laid out for us. I mean, I saw her at Food City this week getting stuff for the officials, and she does a fantastic job as an athletic director. Had the booth set up, and of course, thank Tana Myers, I keep wanting to say Tana Trenum, in the booth with us for running the Jumbotron. I'd like to thank Katie Messer. She teaches the leadership development and live stream class, and we have a student in the booth with us tonight, and Jacob Denton. I'd like to thank them for their great work, and of course Kevin Tierney, who kind of puts it all together. Central office staff, Ms. Stephanie Husky, our new director of schools, who's very supportive of athletics at all the schools. And the central office guy that is kind of the athletic director, the liaison, is Tony Stennett, and a lot of other people to thank, including our old buddy Jack Parton. We'll talk about him in a little bit too.
Kicking off for Alcoa, Kyron Tyson, deep for GP, Orr and Avera. That ball is going to go short to number 3, Jackson Desir, who fair caught the ball at the 18. Might have had room to run, but may have been told to down it if it was a short kick.
Well, Marty, I am happy to have Jackson Desir back on the roster. He played his first 2 years. Only played basketball last year. He's a great athlete, and he had a great first game. He scored a touchdown, had a great defensive game last week against Seymour. He's just a good, solid athlete, really good athlete. Looks great.
So GP's second offensive possession of the night.
And, of course, he's a second-generation player. His dad, Ryan Desir, played here. His mom, Suzanne, also went to school here.
3 wideouts, far side. Single running back, Avera, in the backfield with Hammonds. Hammonds gave a quick look right out into the right flat, did not like what he saw, and pulled it down.
Well, Marty, I thought we were going to run a trap. I was trying to read something into our offensive line splits. Our right guard had tight splits. Our left guard had wide splits. Looked like their outside linebacker stepped up right in that throwing lane. Brady saw that and didn't think he could get it over him. Of course, their outside linebacker is a pretty good-looking athlete. He's kind of like our number 7, Whitman Whaley. Those two guys are kind of twins in different uniforms.
Same formation, 3 wideouts far side. In the flat, Whaley needs a block, breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, runs through another tackle. First down, Gatlinburg-Pittman.
Well, Marty, a lot of things made that play work. It's a beautiful offensive play. Great job out of the offensive lineman, but the thing that really made this work, watch the velocity on the football that Brady Hammonds. Watch how fast he gets it there. Otherwise, this play doesn't work because we got a block. I mean, he puts it right on the number, and we get a great block by Desir and Orr. And, man, what a nice-looking football play.
So, 1st and 10, Gatlinburg-Pittman. 3 wideouts near side this time. Single back and backfield, Avera, Hammonds. Is tackled for a loss.
And Marty, we just had a couple of guys that got beat, and we'll look at it again. I was a little worried they were going to call holding on our left tackle Risnick right there. His rusher took an inside route. You got to step that right foot, get that cut off right there. Well, actually, he didn't. He took an outside route.
So that'll bring up a 2nd, and we'll say 20 for Gatlinburg-Pittman. Pass to Orr this time in the backfield. And he's tackled after no gain, we'll say.
Marty's still a good throw and catch. The thing about Deuce, once he gets the ball and takes a couple steps, he's running full speed. But the closing speed of Alcoa's defense was pretty impressive right there. Pretty good look at that offensive line up there. We've got Lopez, who's been a great, this 33-year starter for us. Kuba Pack, number 50, the right guard. This is his 2nd or 3rd year as a starter. Brady Tarot, first-year starter at center. Luke Burkett, our left guard, number 52, grandson of the great Ray Burkett.
Hammonds back to throw, steps up. There was a late
And
no
number
call.
58, Joseph Resnick. And, of course, our tight end is Graydon Ware.
So it'll bring up 4th down. GP will punt. Aiden Jeanette back into the lineup. Be his 2nd punt of the evening. Deep for Alcoa. Sometimes I think it looks like an 8, but it is number 9, Jordan Harris. Excellent punt. High. Fair catch called for.
Another great punt.
So, Jeanette.
And, Marty, our kicking game looks really solid. Great snap, great punt, great kicks. Marty, that's just technique. That's, well, a lot of talent, a lot of leg strength, a lot of leg talent, but also just work, kick after kick after kick, and great technique and good coachable kids.
Lunsford at quarterback. Goes right across the middle. Pass was batted, but then caught on the deflection by Alcoa. Here's the replay.
And, Marty, you see that tight end get a release right there, just right up the seam. And Luke Burkett knocked it, tipped it, and Alcoa other receivers just happened to be right there where the ball was falling. Good heads-up play by him, but, hey, great job by Luke Burkett. I'm sure one of his coaches are saying you need to just slap it straight down if you can't intercept it, but great job by Luke getting his hand up and deflecting it.
2nd and a long 3. Single wideouts both sides. Man in motion. Handoff right side. Into the secondary. Makes one man miss. First down for Alcoa.
And
about a 31-yard run.
And, Marty, what I think the young kids say he broke his ankles. I think that's a saying when you fake somebody out. And the kid did a great job reading the hole right there. And then he just puts a move and just, whoa.
Alcoa went quickly then. Pass was complete out in the flat. Will be another.
See number 1, Ben Reese, kind of getting up limping right there.
That was another first down, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter with the score. Alcoa 7, Gallenberg Pittman 0. Alcoa is driving.
Marty, we talked a little bit about Alcoa's head coach, Brian Nix, replacing Gary Rankin. Of course, our head coach, Brad Wagner, has a very impressive career before coming to Gatlinburg Pittman. This is his 2nd year. Replaced Derek Rang, who was here for 4 years, who replaced Coach Benny Hammonds, who was here for 45 years. But Coach Wagner is a great person, a great football coach. He's had a lot of success. He's coached at a lot of different high schools, coached a few years on the college level, coached at Virginia Military Institute, was at Georgia Tech as a player personnel recruiting coordinator, coached at several high schools. He has coached in 2 state championship games in Tennessee high school football. One is a head coach at Trousdale County, and one is a defensive coordinator at South Pittsburgh. He did that prior to coming here. Great person, and just great to have him here. But he's got a lot of great assistant coaches. His 2 main coordinators are, of course, Jimmy Rowland, who we are just tickled to death that he's here tonight. He had a little setback with a blood clot, was in the hospital, just released right before the Seymour game. And, of course, Jimmy's well known around the county, played his high school football at Sevier County. Tyler Williams, the other coordinator, and played over at Cosby, played at the University of Tennessee. He's mainly our offensive and defensive line coach, but he is a great football coach. And we'll talk about some of the other guys later, but a lot of good football coaches on this staff.
Lunsford at quarterback. Handoff up the middle, contained, tackled for maybe a loss of 1. will bring up a 2nd and 10.
And
Or a 2nd and goal, I'm sorry.
Great penetration. We had players all over the place, but the good thing on that one, Marty, we didn't miss the tackle, and we had a lot of blue jerseys on that ball carrier. See number 41 Enzo there at nose guard, Cuba Pack, Luciano Lopez. That's 3. Marty, those kids are tough. I mean, not only are they big, talented football players, but I mean they are mentally and physically tough kids.
2nd and goal from the 8. Single wideouts both sides. Lunsford keeps the ball, and Whaley comes off the edge and tackles Lunsford for a gain of maybe 1.
And Marty, that's the second time that it's been a quarterback keeper that Whitman Whaley has read it correctly. And I tell you the impressive thing about Whitman Whaley then, Marty, he had to adjust to the strength. Him and Ben Reese flip-flop according to the strength of the offense. And he was actually a little late getting over there. I mean, he got to his position right as the ball was snapped and read it that quick and got on it, came all the way across and made the tackle.
So 3rd and goal.
That's impressive.
From the 6. 2 wideouts far sides. Lunsford looks that way. Throws incomplete. Good break on the ball by number 11 for GP, Anthony Garcia.
And Marty, I think they call him Speedy Garcia for a good reason. Good push by the defensive line. Great defensive stand so far. This 4th down. Hey, give this to the Highlanders defense. They got the big play against them and got down inside the 10-yard line and held them.
So, Alcoa to kick. Kyron Tyson, ball is down, kick is up, kick is good. So with 10:28 left to go in the 2nd quarter, Alcoa puts 3 more points on the board, leads GP 10-0.
Marty, I'd call that a good defensive stance. Good defensive stand right there. And Marty, go ahead and talk about some of these other coaches. I've been talking a lot about them today. We were talking about Ty Marshall being a great quarterback coach, and we were trying to figure out how long he's been here, but think about the jobs that he has done with the quarterback. He had 3 great years with J.D. Franklin, started J.D. as a sophomore, junior, and senior. Then he had Christian Hoffman for a year, who started as a freshman, had a great year, led the Highlanders, and then the last 2 years he's developed Brady Hammonds, and obviously a great coach. He was a great quarterback in high school himself, played college ball. His dad was a great linebacker at Sevier County High School. But a lot of good coaches, and we've got some newcomers. Lee Hammonds is back on the staff. Of course, he is no stranger to this program. He played here. His dad is Benny Hammonds, and Lee coached here many years, including a stint at Pigeon Forge High School for 4 years. But he is back on the staff this year. Happy to be back on the staff, on the team with his son playing. And we'll get to some of these other guys as we have time.
So Alcoa to kick off. Deep for GP. Avera and Orr. They had a different kicker this time. Into the end zone.
Had a little left-footed kicker.
Yep. Number 97. And he's not on their roster. GP will have it 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. And Rob, from what little we've seen so far, if GP's going to throw the ball, they have to be quick.
They have to
be
the ball
quick
off
passes.
Got to be quick hitters, no doubt about it.
2 wideouts, both sides. Empty backfield. Brady. And shotgun. Takes it, throws it into the flat to Whaley, and he's tackled immediately.
Marty,
I'm sorry, that wasn't Whaley. That was Jackson Desir.
Both teams well coached. You know, Marty, when I was a player 40-plus years ago in high school, coming out in empty backfield set with 5 wide receivers, I mean, it wasn't done even in the NFL. But these coaches are so good and these players are so good that you hardly ever see a kid not lined up right blowing an assignment. I mean, it's just.
So 3 wideouts near side, 2 wideouts far side. Again, empty backfield. Hammonds throws across the middle, intended for Whaley.
Oh, I thought he had him, Marty.
Pass was just about a yard too wide out in front of Whaley.
Oh, I thought we had a play right there. Good pass protection. Brady at the. Oh. Boy, it was there. Great route. Just about a foot too far.
We'll bring up a 3rd and 8.
And Marty, that's a route that they'll come back to in the second half.
Well, you know, if you can get the ball to Carlos or Whaley on the sideline with enough time for them to turn around, I like the chances of them one-on-one with the defensive back. Handoff of Vera, right side. And he's going to be short of the first down. Nice gain of about 4, but going to be short of the first down. A flag. The officials counting them like he thought they had 12 players on the field.
They
do have 12.
They should let us play with 12 against Alcoa.
They do. They did have 12 that time. I did a quick count too. And illegal participation. Alcoa will probably decline that. So we'll bring up 4th down.
Marty, it seems like when we're punting, we're scooted back up just a few yards each possession.
Jeanette to punt. So far, Alcoa has not rushed to net. High. Out of bounds at the, we'll see where they spot it.
And I'm not sure have they spotted it yet?
No.
Okay, there he is. He gave GP a very fair spot right there. And that's about as nice as I'll ever say anything about an official.
24-yard punt for GP.
And this is a dangerous place to give Alcoa the football.
So Alcoa 1st and 10, man in motion. Lunsford looks deep, has a man wide open, little bit too high. GP extremely lucky that time. There was a blown assignment there.
Well, I can't find, let's see where the guy came from. I don't think it was it this guy in motion? Oh, no. It was just a guy that just ran straight up the hash.
I think we were in a single safety maybe that time, and he went the other way, too deep. So 2nd and 10, 2 wide outs, make that 3 this side, 2 the other side, man in motion. Lunsford keeps it up the middle. Tackled after a short gain of, we'll say 2. We'll break up 3rd and 8.
Was that a design keep or was that a busted play? Okay.
Lunsford's a solid quarterback, but if I was going to run the ball, I think he has more. I think he has more explosive running backs behind him there in that backfield. So 2 wideouts both sides. 3rd and 8. Single back in the backfield. Lunsford shotgun. Drops back. Forced out of the pocket. No contain. Breaks a tackle. Breaks another tackle. And enough for the first down. Rob, he might be flashy, but he's a dangerous runner when he pulls the ball down and decides to run.
He is, and we having a pretty good pass rush right here, Marty, but our interior 5 or 6 players are not fast enough to run him down.
And he's strong.
He is.
So 1st and 10, Alcoa. Lunsford, handoff, left side.
Another nice play by number 7, Whitman Whaley.
Whitman Whaley makes the tackle after a gain of about 3.
And Marty, that's number 34, Graydon Ware, that's slow getting up. See our trainer, Colt Jenkins, coming out to help him off the field. And I can't tell if it's a leg injury. Marty, he has had a really basically a broken back. Came back from that, rehab, worked him. He's as hard a working kid as I've seen. And boy, I hope it's not his back.
And I heard some commentary from the fans. I did not see it, but Coach Wagner was not happy and had a conversation with the officials. Something at the end of that play.
Marty, there's a doctor there with CJ. He's from Tennessee Orthopedic Clinic. He's given me many injections in my knee over the last 2 years.
Second and 7, Lunsford keeps. Contained.
Great job by number 1, Ben Reese. Great play.
Reese broke down and kept him from getting outside.
He did, and what he played contained, but look, quarterback put a great move on him, but Ben just contained him. Great play.
Well, we're having a few technical difficulties when the replay comes on. Our screen's going black occasionally, so if you'll just bear with us.
Reese Cole, who just recently moved here, his dad, Chris Reese, played here for the Highlanders, and Coach Benny Hammonds. They've been living in Asheville most of his, if not all of his life. Recently moved back, wanted to move back home, and he is a great addition to this football team.
3rd and 10, empty backfield, man in motion. Lunsford, pass out into the flat, and just like that, let's see where they spot it. It's going to be a 1st down.
And Marty, it was an easy read. Quarterback gave it all the way, and of course, number 52, Luke Burkett, trying to get out there from his middle linebacker spot, and finally Deuce Orr getting him out of bounds.
So on the 3rd and 10, Alcoa comes up with the 1st down. 7:12 left to go in the 2nd quarter.
Marty, they just have so many great athletes, and they can just attack you everywhere on the field from sideline to sideline.
Lunsford goes out, looks left, looks down into and Alcoa player dropped the ball. GP gets a break again.
Marty, great pressure right up the middle.
Pass was intended for Cannon.
By number 20, Cecilio Rodriguez, a freshman. Or maybe that was number 22. Nope, that was number 32, Elijah Bremer.
So 2nd and 10. Single wideouts both sides. Lunsford at quarterback. Man in motion. Lunsford looks deep, forced out of the pocket. Now throws wide open in the middle to the tight end. Number 44 for Alcoa, who is a load. Eli Owens.
He's 6'3", 220 pounds, and can run. I was watching
sophomore
him during warm-ups, only a sophomore. Definitely a college prospect.
So 1st and goal. Ball on the 5. Alcoa sends 2 wide outs. Far side, single back. And tackled for a loss.
And Marty, another great play by number 1, Ben Reese. Had Luciano right there to help him out, but watch Ben at his outside linebacker. And Marty, he just really doesn't go for the fake. And then he's a good enough athlete to run him down. stays with it and keeps his feet moving, keeps his head up.
I guess his dad is enjoying watching him play at his alma mater.
He is, and I've talked to Chris Reese for years, and he's always wanted to come his boys to play over here. Chris was a great player for Coach Benny Hammonds, and of course his grandmother, Miss Peggy Oakes, lives in Seymour, is also happy to have him back over here. She was a longtime principal for the school system.
2nd 10, Lunsford looks into the end zone, pressured again, pulls it down, is forced out of bounds at the 9, where it will be 3rd and goal for Alcoa. GP had everybody covered up in the secondary.
Good job by the secondary, and another. And of course, Ben Reese is the one that made that tackle. Of course, his dad, Chris Reese, has joined the coaching staff.
And number 55 got held big time on that.
And hitting the back, blocking the back right there. It wasn't called. Marty, the Highlanders are playing them tough. They're doing a good job.
Want to thank our primary sponsor tonight, Greenbrier Bee Company, for their sponsorship. You see some of the product there. Locally sourced Smoky Mountain, true Smoky Mountain honey from Smoky Mountain Wildflowers.
And Marty, you can get our honey at Greenbrier Grocery out there in Pittman Center. Whole Earth Grocery in Gatlinburg, Split Rail Eats over in the Glades, a great restaurant.
That was Chapstick.
And of course, we have some wax products coming out, Chapstick and candles. And Ogle's Five Oaks Restaurant out in Five Oaks.
So, play set to resume. That was a GP timeout. 3rd and goal from the 9. Lunsford rolls to his right. Looks into the end zone and throws short. So it will be 4th and goal, and Alcoa will send field goal in.
And Marty, just not enough arm. He may have had that guy open for a few seconds. Good coverage by number 11, Speedy Garcia. And another great 4th grade stand by the Highlanders.
So Tyson into kick for Alcoa.
Marty, you know you're in trouble when the kicker's as big as most of our offensive linemen.
And that one was outside the right upright, no good. So GP holds Alcoa. And with 5:50 left to go here in the 2nd quarter, Alcoa 10. Gatlinburg-Pittman 0. And as you said, Rob, Gatlinburg-Pittman fighting tooth and nail here against Alcoa.
We are definitely competing this year. You know, in so many years past, we just haven't even been able to compete with Alcoa. We've got a great group here. We've got 3 really tough kids right there on the defensive line. And, of course, those kids also play offense, but our skilled players are good this year. Got a great coaching staff. These kids are winners. And one of the toughest kids on the team just ran out on the field right there, number 50, Kuba Pack.
So clock is running. GP's going to have to hurry to get this one off.
He has a little brother, Leonard Pack, who's going to be a great linebacker for GP down the road.
And timeout asked for. No. They reset it. Okay, they reset the 25-second clock. Handoff. Avera up the middle. Gain of about 2.
And Marty, I'd like to see him just get a little crease because he's as good of an athlete as anybody on this Alcoa football team. He is a tremendous athlete.
We'll bring up a 2nd and 8.
Gives it everything he has every time he's out there. He came out of the game. Number 1, Ben Reese will replace him as a lone back in the backfield.
So 2 wideouts far side. Single back. Hammonds fakes the handoff, rolls out, throws in the flat to Orr. Orr stays on his feet. Going to be just short of the first down.
Marty, great action in the backfield. Great ball skills by Brady Hammond. Good offensive line play. And good hard running by Deuce Orr. Good ball fake right there to Ben Reese. You see those linebackers step to that. Gets everybody looking this way just long enough to complete the pass to Deuce Orr.
So 3rd and we'll say 2. Single back in the backfield. 2 wideouts near side. And Alcoa drew a penalty from GP. Alcoa shifted and GP's lineman jumped.
And Marty, now instead of 3rd and 2, it's going to be 3rd and long, a long 7 yards. And Marty, Alcoa's defensive line are not huge, but man, are they athletic and quick.
So 3rd and 7. Hammonds. And timeout asked for. Coach is pointing at maybe there may have been a misalignment or something. But anyway, GP asked for timeout. So with timeout, 4:24 left to go in the second quarter. GP trails Alcoa 10-0. First home game this year, but I think we have 2 or 3 in a row coming up, don't we, Rob?
We do.
Austin East next week at home at 7.
And then we play Loudon.
Loudon at home.
And then after that, we hit the road to Maynardville. Marty, tough schedule. You're talking about opening up with a 4A school, Seymour, one of the best programs in the state, with Alcoa the second game. Austin East, who's loaded with great athletes every year, for the 3rd game. And then Loudon is probably one of the better 4A programs in East Tennessee. They're 3A, I'm sorry, but they are. I mean, that's a tough way to start your season.
Right. Austin East lost to Fulton last week, but it was not a blowout. Saw some of the highlights. It looked like a relatively competitive game.
Then, of course, we have some tough games down the road. We have to play Hampton and, of course, our rivals, Pigeon Forge and Northview. Hard to tell what Northview is going to do. They got beat the first week by Unicoi County. Pigeon Forge lost to Hampton, but Hampton's a tough football team.
So 3rd down and 7 for GP. Hammonds rolls right. Has a man wide open.
Oh, he caught the ball. Oh.
He was out of bounds.
What an incredible catch by Deuce Orr, but he got knocked out of bounds. Hey, Marty, you've got to go back and look at the play. Whoever's the running back in the backfield at this time, great block. Kind of made this play happen, or allowed it to happen right there.
That's Avera.
That's Avera on that big outside linebacker. Let Brady get on out to the corner.
And Brady was just about a second late throwing the ball.
Right when you said he had a man open, if he had thrown it then, it would have been a play. 2 seconds later, it's double coverage. But Deuce Orr still made an incredible acrobatic catch just out of bounds.
So Jeanette, ball's on the 24. Jeanette back to punt. Ball goes out of bounds at the 45. 21 yards on the punt.
And Marty, I know we want to kind of get it out of bounds, not kick it to their return guy, but we would certainly like to have it a little bit longer punt than that. He started off with first 2 punts. He boomed them, beautiful punts. And the last 2 have just been for 24
and 21.
24 and 21. Watch this catch. Oh, my gosh. What great concentration, great hands by Carlos Orr, Deuce.
So Alcoa, 1st and 10 from the GP 45. Lunsford, handoff to Norris. Makes the first one miss, not the second one.
Marty, great penetration by that defensive line, especially the nose guard, number 41, Enzo, and then Burkett made a really sure tackle right there, number 52. He's a 3rd-generation player for the Highlanders. His granddad, Ray Burkett, played with our friend Randall Bryan back in the day, and then his dad, Roy Burkett, was a great linebacker here for the Highlanders. And, of course, And his uncle Michael played, and of course his brother
Lunsford
Kevin.
looks deep, pulls the ball down, turns upfield. There's going to be a flag, and I believe it's a hold. We'll see.
Marty, they may have had some offensive linemen downfield. We'll see what they call.
I called their running back a minute ago Harris. It's I called him Norris. It's Harris. Number 9, Jordan Harris.
And Marty, here's the replay. It's a hold.
Right there. When you.
Well, you know, we almost had a fight right there. That after one of their guys held Kuba Pack, when Kuba walked off, he pushed him in the back, and Kuba, he's not somebody to push in the back.
So with the penalty, it will make it 2nd down and 19.
And Marty, one player I don't have on my roster here is number 22. He came in for Graydon Ware at that inside linebacker spot. And I just don't know who that is. Of course, Ben Reese is not on the roster that we have either. He's number 1.
So Lunsford. Handoff Harris. Up the middle. Tackled after a gain of about 1.
And Marty, there's those 3 interior guys that are tougher than nails that I keep talking about. 55, Luciano, 41, Enzo, and 50, Kuba Pack. All 3 of those guys made the tackle that time. And they're going against guys that have already committed to Division I schools.
Brings up a 3rd and 18.
Kind of reminds me of Kevin Burkett's senior year when one of the linemen that was going to South Carolina or somewhere somehow got Kevin Burkett's phone number and sent him a text with a stack of pancakes in it, talking about a pancake block. And Kevin
Pass
Burkett
across the middle to number 7. Breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, but it's going to be finally stopped, and he'll be about 6 yards short of the 1st down. We'll bring up 4th and 6 for Alcoa.
And, of course, Kevin Burkett texted back saying, bring it on. And in my opinion, Kevin Burkett was the best lineman in the game that night. Great play by the Highlanders.
So GP is not going to send anybody deep, I don't think. GP may only have 10 players on the field. And that's a terrible punt.
And I'm not sure what they were trying to accomplish with that, because, I mean, he obviously just barely kicked it. I would have just kicked it all the way down. Yeah.
So, GP will start from their own 27-yard line, 1st and 10, a minute and 45 seconds left to go in the 1st half. GP with 1 timeout left. Hammonds brings the play in from the sideline. GP was short a player.
It's number 70, Jackson Case, coming in. His mom, I saw his mom, Amy Case, in the crowd. She is the principal at Caton Chapel Elementary School. Warren Hurst, Warren and Marie Hurst are his grandparents. Great family, great
Handoff,
people.
Avera cuts it back. Found some running room up the middle, and on 1st down gains about 7 yards. Be 2nd and 3.
Marty, get a little crease right there. You give Avera just a little bit of a crease, and he's going to make a play out of it.
We'll say 6. Gain of 6. 2nd and 4.
Nice pull and trap block by, I can't tell which number it was. Might have been 62.
Hammond's handoff again to Avera. And he's going to be stopped for a loss of about 2 on that play. So I think Alcoa calls a timeout. Be 3rd and 4. We'll see who the timeout got charged to. Okay. All right.
Where do you see that great coaching staff? You see Ty Marshall and Coach Tyler Williams, Lee Hammonds, Brad Wagner talking to their guys right there. Rashid Moore. Marty, there's a coach right there with the headset on, Jason Schultz, that has been a coach, volunteer coach for many years now. He played back when I coached, was a great offensive, defensive lineman, great kid, very good student, an accountant. And he has a son now, Hayden Schultz, who is a 7th grader for the middle school program that's going to be really good.
So, set to resume. 1 minute left. Hammonds throws a comeback to Deuce. That was a back shoulder throw right there.
And I don't know if he didn't get around in time because there was some contact with the corner. We sure don't want to give Alcoa the ball back. But
so it will bring up a 4th down. And so far tonight.
Excellent play call.
Alcoa has chosen not to rush our punter. The snap has been, they've been good snaps, but they've not had a lot of velocity on them. But Jeanette gets a good GP roll.
And Marty, there is a flag on the field. Number 52, Luke Burkett, snaps for punts for GP.
"34-yard punt that time for Jeanette as the officials discuss the call. I really thought Alcoa at that time would line up and and try to block the punt with 46 seconds left to go in the half.
And Marty, I don't see Graydon Ware.
He came up the steps here in a minute, Rob,
Okay.
and went back to the locker room.
So he's probably in the training room.
But that's probably post possession after he's kicked the ball.
And Marty,
I'm not sure about that. After it's snapped, well, we'll take it. It's first down, Gatlinburg Pittman, and it keeps Alcoa from getting the ball back here right before the half.
Marty, I tell you, there's a very important person on the sideline tonight that I love seeing back involved in football up here, and that's Scotty Henry. He's on about the 43-yard line in the yellow paint right there. Great guy, played here back when we coached and set some powerlifting records, was a great football player. He's had a successful career in banking, but he's involved in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. He comes over every week and talks to our players.
Thrown deep to Orr. Complete! Down the sideline. No flags. Touchdown, Gatlinburg Pittman.
I bet they wish they wouldn't have called that. Marty, what a great job by the Highlanders. Great play call by Coach Wagner for one, but also just a great execution. Great job by the offensive line. And, I mean, you could not have had the route was great, but the player was right there stride for stride. Brady Hammonds just threw the perfect ball. Deuce Orr, who has great concentration when the ball's in the air, never was a question that he caught it. Then he just outran the kid.
GP kick is up. Oh, there's a offsides. Offsides, Alcoa. But they blew the whistle, so have to re-kick. The kick was good, but dead ball.
And Marty, Carlton Giesling, we know it's going to be good.
Kick is up and good. So with 35 seconds left to go here on a huge play from Gatlinburg Pittman. Gatlinburg Pittman trails Alcoa 10-7. Here's the replay again. You see Carlos, see Deuce down there at the bottom of the screen. Brady just rears up and throws it deep.
And he just launched it. I'd like to see how many yards that ball went in the air. You know, it's one thing to throw an accurate ball, you know, from the within 20 yards, but to throw an accurate ball that deep on the sideline, that's impressive.
And Carlos, who won the 40-yard dash in the Jamboree, is not going to be caught by too many people from behind. If anybody could, Alcoa probably has players that could, but not on that play.
And Marty, we got a lot of fired up fans out there. I just got a text from one of our former great players, number 45, Aaron Maples, and he said it's great to see a bunch of Highlanders that aren't backing down from Alcoa. And that's exactly what you're watching right here.
So Giesling to kick off. First kickoff of the game. It was a pooch kick, or a directional kick toward the sideline. And I just see the coach is giving him the aiming point down here. I think that's Schultz on the sideline, telling him to kick it right at him. It's picked up. And Whaley makes the tackle.
Marty, not only did Whitman Whaley make the tackle, as Bruce Ruttenberg would have said, he brought the wood.
He brought the wood. Okay, Alcoa, 1st and 10, 25 seconds on the clock. GP can't let anything be thrown over their heads. Oh.
As Buffe, our friend Buffe, Mike Helton, who this broadcast booth is named after, said, don't get beat deep. Words to live by.
Throws into the flat to Harris. Makes one man miss, another man miss, and Harris is going to the house. There is a flag back here behind.
And you know what, Marty, we read that play. I read it from up here before it even started. We had Guy Luciano read it from his defensive tackle position, but we just couldn't run him down. And I don't know what the flag is, but it's
sideline warning is all. So there was no flag. It is a touchdown for Alcoa. So one play, and they didn't go deep.
Ooh.
So just like that, Alcoa puts 6 on the board in 13 seconds. Kick is up. Kick is good.
And Marty, after he caught that ball, he wasn't even really challenged.
So, with 12 seconds left to go here in the second quarter, Alcoa leads Gatlinburg-Pittman 17-7.
And Marty, that's Alcoa for you. I know back when I coached for Coach Hammonds, we'd play them and we'd beat them up and down the field. Beat them for 4 quarters. We'd have better stats than they would, and they would have somebody like Albert Davis Jr. that would touch the ball about 3 times, and it'd be 3 touchdowns.
So 12 seconds left to go here. I don't know, Rob, you'd almost go into some kind of prevent defense with 8 people out of or only 2 or 3 linemen, and they're so explosive.
Yeah.
So Alcoa will kick off.
Once that kid gets his speed up too, he's pretty hard to tackle, as we just saw.
Kick is into the end zone. GP will have it 1st and 10 at their 20 with 12 seconds left to go. We'll see what they choose to do here.
Or did you notice the football that they used to kick? Got to wonder if it didn't look like a regulation high school football.
We'll look at that the second half, but I'm sure most of the time the official puts it down on the field for the kicker to place it. GP's going to take a knee, looks like. We'll see. No, they fake that. They go to Orr. Carlos with almost another great reception.
Perlos needs to get back in the huddle instead of jawing and putting his hands in that kid's face.
6 seconds left to go. Single wideouts, both sides. Handoff. Avera still on his feet, still on his feet. Nice run of about 15 yards will end the first half. GP's got to feel pretty good about their effort in the first half here against Alcoa. They trail Alcoa 17-7. We'll be back with second half action.
As the band sets up, I'd like to introduce the 2022 Alcoa High School Marching Band. The band is under the direction of band directors Russell McCurdy and Christine Regan. The band is commanded on the field by drum major Audrey Breeden. Band captain Keller McMurray, guard captain Rochelle Hamel, guard co-captains Kaylee Jordan and Samantha Jordan, drum captain Mallory Hastings, your co-captain Houston Webby, front ensemble captain Caitlin Beavers. Color guard instructors are Andy Carver, Katie Bush, and Riley Carver. Percussion instructors are Faith Gray and Ben Isabel. The 2022 high school, Alcoa High School Marching Band will be performing their fall show called Pandora's Box. Drum major, is your band ready? welcome to the field your Gallenberg Pittman High School Marching Highlanders. The band is under the direction of band director Dr. Taylor Franklin, assistant director Steve Carroll. Percussion marching staff includes Mr. Matthew Van Dyke and Mr. Bob Benson. Student leadership of the 2023 season includes drum major Juliet Dedenko, band captain Bryce Stiller, Xander Anderson, and co-student liaison Michael Bashir. Tonight, the band will be performing their show entitled Everlasting Elvis. The selections for tonight are I Can't Help Falling in Love, Elvis Intros, A Little Less Conversation, Jailhouse Rock, Love Me Tender, and Hound Dog. The trumpet soloist is Paul Dedenko. The mellophone soloist is Noah Ikai. Drum major Juliet Dedenko, is your band ready? Gallenberg Pittman Marching Highlanders, you may take the field for your performance. Okay, folks, it's a special treat for you. I'm going to hang it up on the PA for just a few minutes so I can watch my own kid. But we have in the house legendary Gatlinburg resident Steve Wilson, who's a graduate of the University of Tennessee and a longtime announcer in Florida, but not a Gator fan. Switch it over.
Marty Nicely along with Rob Younger, Kevin Tierney. Back here at halftime, getting ready for second half kickoff. Rob, an interesting first half. A lot of action packed in the last minute and a half.
No doubt about it. Gatlinburg-Pittman is certainly challenging them. They're not backing away. Had a great touchdown pass to Deuce Orr right there, a minute left in the game. And, of course, Alcoa came back with less than a minute and scored on a big play and went up 17-7.
So that's where we are at halftime. Alcoa 17, Gatlinburg-Pittman 7. Gatlinburg-Pittman found a little bit of running room. Vera had a few creases, but it's primarily been the quick pass for Gatlinburg-Pittman in the first half. So GP will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20 as we start the third quarter. Hammond's gone all the way at quarterback. Single wide out both sides. Desir and Orr. Handoff of Vera. And there's an example of Alcoa's speed getting into the backfield.
And Marty, you're exactly right. We had Kuba Pack pulling from his right guard position, getting ready to get a block. Absolutely, before the play could even develop, they chased it down from behind. And I don't know that Tegan Avera was just flat out running as fast as he could. He may have been waiting for the blocks to develop. But you're right, that's a great example of Alcoa's athleticism.
Two wideouts far side, single back with Avera in the backfield with Hammonds. Hammonds rolls right. Looks downfield, throws it complete to, I believe that was Orr.
Number 2, Deuce Orr. And Marty, interesting play. We were talking about Graydon Ware and hoping that his injury is not bad and wondering what they're doing. I couldn't find Luciano Lopez at his tackle position. Well, they've moved him to looks like he's playing tight end in Graydon Ware's tight end spot. They brought in Jackson Case and another lineman.
That was a gain of 3, so 3rd and 7 for Gatlinburg-Pittman.
And, of course, that block from that tight end position is just as crucial as anything. Now you see Luciano line up over here on the left side at tight end.
2 seconds left on the play clock. GP does not get the play off in time. The coaches on the sideline called the timeout before time expired. So with timeout, 11:17 left to go here in this third quarter. GP has to burn a timeout. It will be 3rd and 7.
Marty, I think they were having a little trouble getting their personnel squared away. And Marty, one thing that we haven't talked about, great job, great performance by the GP marching band. Great job in the student section by the students and the cheerleaders. Love our new platforms. We got 2 platforms, and the student section is rocking tonight. And I'll say one thing, and we've always had a great crowd, but it seems like the last few years in the middle school and the high school that our student section and participation has been great in basketball and football and probably other sports too. I just don't go to. And give a lot of credit to the principals of those 2 schools for being very enthusiastic about sports. But nothing better during your high school days than going to a high school football game.
So, 3rd and 7, Hammonds rolls left, is pressured, throws it up in the air, and he was out of bounds. Whaley came down with the reception but was out of bounds, so it will be 4th down. GP will have to punt the ball. Nice little combination route there with GP.
And, you know, it's beautiful catch right there. And I don't know if Brady was just waiting for the route to get open or if it was because of pressure or maybe held on to it just for about a second too long. I think he had a little pressure and had to step up. And, folks, I assure you, if you're watching this on television, playing quarterback is a lot harder than you'd think it would be.
The net to punt. Punt is up. It's a low punt. Fielded on the run by Harris. And pretty good tackle there. Pretty good coverage.
And, Marty, it's almost like our punter's kind of lost his mojo. The first 2 kicks of his were beautiful. Then he had 2 really bad kicks. And then it's like he's trying to kick it lower and farther rather than just giving good technique and kicking it. But boy, that's the last guy you want to kick a line drive to.
Yeah, 27 yards on that punt.
You can kind of tell by his body language coming off the field that he kind of lost his confidence a little bit.
So Alcoa 1st and 10 on the GP 42. Handoff. Harris makes one man miss, makes two miss, makes three miss, and it's going to be 7 points for Alcoa. There are no flags on the ground. So just like that, Alcoa comes out, puts 7 on the board.
Well, Marty, we put number 32, Elijah Bremer, in there at linebacker, and he just totally went for the fake and just vacated his area, and that's right there where the ball came. And that kid is tough. He is one of the best. He'll be one of the best running backs in the state of Tennessee this year.
Kick is down. Tyson's kick is up and good. So with 10:50 left to go in the third quarter, Alcoa widens their lead to 24-7 over Gatlinburg-Pittman. And Rob, you and I talked a little bit at halftime, taking absolutely nothing away from GP because they played him tough. But we wondered why the ball wasn't in Harris's hands a little bit more the first half than it was. He's extremely explosive.
And, it's not like he wasn't out on the field. They were just doing different things. I think the quarterback kept the ball in design keeps 4 or 5 plays in the first half.
Yeah, they definitely have a weapon there.
I mean, he is just very explosive, hard to tackle, but he has that just top-end speed that a lot of people just don't have, a lot of players don't have.
We understand that there are some technical issues with the live stream, so we apologize for that. Staff is working on them, trying to fix it. Not sure exactly what the issue is, though. So GP sends Avera and Orr deep. This kicker, who is not on the roster for Alcoa, his number is not, who's been putting it close to the end zone each time. And there's another one that dry line lands at the 1 and goes into the end zone. So GP will have it out at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
Marty's not a big kid, real skinny, little left-footed kicker, but man, does he have a leg. Of course, we were watching their kicking coach before the game, and he was punting to the receivers, and he's a pretty good kicker himself.
So 1st and 10, GP. Hammonds brings the play in from the sideline.
Marty, see a lot of trends over the years, and to a lot of non-football people, especially, I'll say my wife being one, they just can't understand why they make the quarterback run back and forth to the side. We go through these trends where they're holding up cards. We go through trends where they're wearing wrist bracelets with and then hand signals. And, of course, back in the day when we played, they would send the play in usually with a running back or a receiver.
GP gets penalized 5 yards for delay of game. Had a player on the wrong side of the formation, and by the time he came back across the formation, play clock had expired. So, 1st and 15. 2 wideouts near side. Single back along with Hammonds. Whaley goes in motion. Hammonds rushed, brought down behind the line of scrimmage. It looked like he mishandled the snap a little bit. Loss of another 5 puts the ball on the 10. Will bring up a 2nd and 20.
Well, Marty, one thing, I was talking to several people before the game, and of course, we've been playing Alcoa for years. Everybody knows what kind of program they have, but one of the things they talked about is just the tremendous amount of depth that Alcoa has. So pretty much every player we have is playing both ways, never comes out of the football game. Most of them even playing on special teams. These guys completely two platoon, and then they have depth, to give them breaks. So it's usually when you get into that second and third quarter, that's when they really start wearing on you.
Loss of 3, so brings up a third. And say 23. Well, GP going the wrong direction here on this first possession of the third quarter. Hammonds, handoff. Couldn't see the number from here. I don't know if it was Avera or not. Yes, Tegan Avera.
Marty, here comes the punt team.
So the ball is on the, we'll say 12-yard line. Aiden Jeanette into punt. Snap. Fielded on about the 37.
Blocking, pushing the back. They didn't call it right there in front of the official.
And into the end zone. Oh, there is a flag.
I mean, there was an obvious block in the back. I mean, 5 yards in front of him. I guess maybe he did call that one.
So that one's coming back.
Right there.
Right there, yep.
Already big break for the Highlanders. Already some other coaches that I didn't mention earlier. We've got some great coaches. Longtime coach Paige Yates has been with this staff for a long, long time. He's a defensive line coach. Great guy. Really like talking to him. Him and his wife have a little farm, and they raise sheep. He's a beekeeper and just has a really neat guy. Good fella. And of course, Rashid Moore, defensive back coach. Great football coach, played football at Maryville High School. He is also a very successful head basketball coach here at Gatlinburg-Pittman High School. And Marty, I think it's pretty safe to say that we're going to be good for the next couple of years here at GP under his leadership. I'm sorry, he played at Maryville College. I think he may have played high school ball at McMinn County.
So 1st and 10, Alcoa. Lunsford all the way at quarterback. Man in motion. Pass out into the flat, almost a backward pass. Breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle. Splits 2 defenders. And you just can't coach that kind of ability.
And I was just getting ready to say Ben Reese is a great open field tackler, and he is. He's done a great job. And he has perfect position, breaks down, came in a little high and got tripped up. And then this kid just made people miss. Knocking people down, making people miss, outrunning people.
That was number 8, Colby Barrett, who's listed as a freshman if this roster is correct.
I saw that.
And this is that's a new quarterback. That is not Lunsford. And straight ahead. That's number 12 for Alcoa, Eli Graff, a sophomore. Gain of about 6 on first down. Graff, handoff.
Another great tackle by Whitman Whaley.
To number 7, Cannon. Tackled after no gain, or maybe lost 1. Will bring up a 3rd and 4.
Several new jerseys in for Alcoa. They're coming out a little different approach. Earlier, of course, the first team is spreading us out all over the field. These guys are coming out with 2 tights, 2 wides, 1 back. Different look to adjust to.
Graff keeps it, pulls it down, has an opening on the left side and into the end zone for a touchdown.
And Marty, he is a sophomore quarterback, 5'7", 145, and can scoot.
So we have an injury. Looks like a cramp. I hope it's a cramp. Otherwise, that trainer is going to blow.
He's not going to help.
No, he's going to blow the guy's knee out on his own. So, Alcoa leads 30-7. Extra point is pending here.
Marty, it'll be interesting to watch Alcoa play Maryville, and one, because it's always just a great game. Maryville is one of the other great programs in the state. But our good friend Mike Warner has a grandson that's a senior running back for Maryville High School who is already committed to the University of Virginia and runs a legitimate 4.4. I was watching highlights of their first game, first time he touched the ball, maybe the first play of the game. He took it a little swing pass for an 80-yard touchdown.
Tyson's kick is up and good. So with 6:55 left to go in the third quarter, score, Alcoa 31, Gallenberg-Pittman 7.
And, of course, we know that he gets all that speed from his granddad. Of course, Werner was a college running back in Illinois.
And, Rob, I would guess, and you know from your playing days, that this gets to be a difficult time when you're down 31-7 with 6 minutes left to go in the third quarter against an explosive team. And what do coaches say? They keep playing hard, well,
the good
one play at a time.
The good coaches, Marty, just don't emphasize on they don't overemphasize not giving up, playing hard. They just keep coaching, keep coaching, telling you what to do, correcting mistakes, telling you what to do, and just kind of keep doing their best on the sideline, sending in plays. You know, don't hit the panic button, don't throw in the white towel. And Marty, I think everybody knew what they were getting into before coming into this game.
So again,
but I am very proud of the Highlanders, and they certainly bowed their back and have stepped up and not backed down from this group.
Orr's going to field it this time and bring it back. Fielded it at the 2. Tries to get outside, but is tackled.
And Marty's tackled by a kid that I've been watching all night, Joe McCord, a 6'1", 230-pound outside linebacker. He's only an 11th grader, and he is quite the athlete. For somebody that big to tackle Deuce Orr in the open field, he's pretty athletic.
So GP will have it 1st and 10 from the, we'll say, 16-yard line. Brady Hammond's gone all the way at quarterback. Three wideouts near side. Avera in the backfield with Hammonds. Brady looks across the middle. It's not there. Pitches it to Orr.
And Marty, Brady Hammonds is as cool as a cucumber in the pocket, and he has been since the day he started for the Highlanders. Sees the field really well, feels pressure, knows when to get rid of the ball, when to hold it.
Gain of 4, we'll say 2nd and 6 for the Highlanders.
Of course, you could say he comes from a pretty good football family. His dad and his granddad played college football. His granddad played college football and baseball at Carson Newman.
3 wideouts far side.
He's got a brother.
Hammonds looks that way in the flat to Whaley.
He's got a brother that plays at the University of Virginia at Wise. And a brother that is a 7th grader, second-team quarterback for our GP Junior High. Colt Hammonds, who might end up being the best athlete of all of them.
So third and 7 for the Highlanders. Love to see a first down here, give the Highlanders a little momentum. Hammonds rolls right. Throwback was wide open.
Just too much pressure too quick, Marty.
Yep.
Great pressure by number 33 right there in the middle of the line for Alcoa. And there wasn't much Brady could do about that.
That was a good call.
one thing about Brady Hammonds, he generally knows what to do with the ball, and very accurate passer. And actually, his arm strength is, nobody's ever just talked a whole lot about his arm strength, but he won the throwing contest, the longest throw. He has a great arm strength.
Jeanette does a pretty good job picking up a bad snap there. Of course, again, Alcoa had no rush. So the Alcoa will have it 1st and 10 from the GP 49-yard line. 6:14 left to go in the third quarter. Thursday night football. And Rob, I believe that it's been dictated by TSSAA that every school this year has to have at least one Thursday night game.
That is correct because of the referee shortage. Of course, when they first said that I found out it was a Thursday night game, I just assumed that it was a television game. There.
Lunsford back in the lineup, has a man running wide open. Catches the ball for a touchdown. Sort of a throwback. Lunsford sort of looked right, took a couple of steps right, then threw back across the field. Sort of the same pattern early in the game when they had the guy running wide open and he overthrew him.
Well, Marty, everybody sees number 4 come in motion, and he runs a little swing route. Quarterback looks at him. That's where everybody thought the ball was going, and then everybody took their eyes off the deep guy.
So, Alcoa, I believe that's their 3rd touchdown this quarter. Kick is up and good.
You know, we were pumped. We were playing with them, and then when they scored right there at the half, that took a little bit out of us, and then them coming back on the field and immediately scoring took a little pep out of our step.
So 38-7. Alcoa leads Gatlinburg-Pittman. 6:03 left to go in the third quarter. Of
course, Marty, there's always been a lot of talk. Why doesn't Alcoa play up a division? And in TSSAA, you are allowed to play up. Obviously, they don't let you play down. But, I mean, these guys, it's just non-competitive for them in 3A football.
It certainly has been. I was looking their enrollment when the classifications were set last time was 655 in 2020, so they definitely qualify as a 3A school. GPs, I think, is 545.
That is correct, yes.
But yeah, you wonder what you get.
How many of these kids went to elementary school in Alcoa?
That'd be a good question. Kick is low. Go out of bounds at about the 24. So GP will have the ball on the 35, I believe. Penalty for the kickoff going out of bounds. 1st and 10 GP on the 35-yard line. That would be the best field position the GP's had this second half.
And Marty, it's been a tough battle for those guys up front. You see Joseph Risnick, Luke Burkett, Brady Tarot, Kuba Pack, Jackson Case, and Luciano Lopez, who is now playing tight end. Get back to the line of scrimmage. You see number 55 out there flipping to the left side to play tight end for the Highlanders since Graydon Ware's out.
Single wideouts both sides. Hammonds. Handoff of Vera. Cuts it up. Got through the line of scrimmage and cut out, but you're not going to outrun Alcoa's linebackers.
And Marty, that guy that ran him down, he's the one that made the open field tackle on Deuce on the kickoff. And that Joe McCord, 6'1", 230 pounds. And, boy, what an athlete he is.
Still nice gain by Vera on first down, a gain of 7. We'll say 2nd and 3. Hammonds fakes the handoff, looks out in the flat to Orr. 1-on-1. Makes the first man miss. but then has to step out of bounds. But it is a first down, Gatlinburg-Pittman.
Real solid job right there by the GP deep offensive line. Gave Brady plenty of time to throw.
So first down, Gatlinburg-Pittman. Midfield.
Marty, we don't keep stats or have a statistician as we go along, but that's a lot of catches for Deuce Orr tonight.
Handoff. Avera cuts back, looks for running room. And is tackled for no gain. They're going to give him a gain of about a half yard here. So 2nd and 9. Hammonds throws, and good play by the dropping, I guess, linebacker for Alcoa, trying to hit Carlos right at the second level, right behind the. No, it was the defensive back.
It was the corner.
Yeah, it was a corner.
Of course, he's about. Let's see, how tall is he? He is he's 6'3", a 6'3", 150-pound corner. So he got his hand up there. Hey, good play call. Good route by Deuce Orr.
Yeah, without that good play by the D-back, that's a completed pass. Another first down for Gatlinburg-Pittman. Brings up a 3rd and 9. Avera.
Nice play. Nice blocking up front. Great job by number 50, Kuba Pack, from his right guard position.
And things getting a little testy on among some linemen down there.
Marty, watch the right guard, number 50, Kuba Pack. You get a great block right here by your tight end, left side of your line. Good down blocks, but watch 50. I mean, that's a good pull. He comes up in there, gets on the linebacker. That's a good football play. These kids, not only have they not backed down from Alcoa, they haven't quit.
So 4th and we'll say 2. GP will go for it. Throws out in the flat to Orr, back shoulder throw, and that's a first down.
Deuce Orr's had an incredible night tonight. Marty he has great concentration, but watch him extend his arms, get his hands out there, catch the ball, tuck it, he found the first down marker. And Marty, I know most of these boys a little bit. I don't, not great friends with their families, but I know them. They're all good people. Really good bunch of guys right there.
Single wideouts, both sides. Whaley in motion.
Oh, great job by the running back picking. Oh! That was a great job by Tegan Avera picking up the blitzing linebacker. Watch number 18 right here, or Brady Hammonds might have gotten killed right there. Excellent job. Oh, I tell you what, we're having a hard time throwing over that corner.
Yep.
But Marty, great families, great bunch of kids. But that being said, those 3 interior guys on defense, you really don't want to get in a street fight with them.
2nd and 10. Hammonds. Handoff Avera, left side, a little bit of room there. Gain of about 5 will bring up a 3rd and 5.
Oh, great job by Luciano Lopez, Marty. Basically called a combo block. He blocks down, helps his offensive tackle with the block. They cave their guy in. He slides off and picks up a linebacker. I mean, if you draw it up on a chalkboard, that's how you execute it. Great job, number 55, Lopez.
Whaley in motion. Hammonds takes a snap. Handoff again, Avera, left side. You're going to be just short of the. There's a flag, and I think.
Number 56 on Alcoa took the last shot. Hopefully it's on him and not Luciano.
It's always the guy that responds, because we had a. That should be on Alcoa.
like I said, Luciano's a really nice kid. His mother's a nice lady, but you don't want to get in a street fight with him or Kuba Pack or Enzo.
So that is a personal foul. That'll be 15 yards on Alcoa. Give GP 1st and 10 at the Alcoa 15-yard line. This drive started at the 35-yard line for Gatlinburg-Pittman.
Marty, are they going to let the quarter expire?
Yes, they are. So, as the clock runs down, that will end the third quarter. Alcoa puts four touchdowns on the board in the third quarter to extend their halftime lead of 17-7 to 38-7. 3 touchdowns in the second half. I was never a math major.
All big plays. Marty, one final coach that I didn't have a chance to talk about is Coach Don Birchfield. He is a linebacker coach, and he had a career in Alabama as a coach. I think he might have even been a head coach and a principal, moved here. He is coaching, great linebacker coach. He is a PE teacher at the middle school, and my kids love the guy. Jackson really, really loves him, and I know the players do as well. And actually has a daughter who is coaching basketball at Seymour High School, and she may have played college ball somewhere.
Rob, while we've got a second, big event coming up Saturday night.
That's right.
Fundraiser for the Gatlinburg-Pittman High School, the quarterback club. I don't know if there are tickets left. If there are, you can contact Gary Waldrop or Daryl Roberts, I think, probably to get some tickets.
I've got mine. Got my two.
Got my two. Randall's got his two.
Great event, and raises lots of money for the high school program. And, of course, the great thing I like about it is the guys that are involved in it, contributing the money, do not get involved with the politics of football.
Right. I think that GP player may have moved. He got absolutely. No, he didn't get hit. He just he leaned back in his stance a little bit and then lost his balance. So 5 yards back. We'll make it 1st and 15 for GP on the 20-yard line. GP has a nice drive going here.
And Marty, they're getting some mileage out of this offensive line in Tegan Avera.
Anthony Garcia split wide here with Orr on this side. They go into the end zone. You know, it's pretty good defense by Alcoa, but anytime that the ball's in the air, Carlos has got a chance to come down with it.
Marty, see him fake the ball to Tegan Avera. And great defense. That's that number 4. We can't throw over that guy. But Marty, I agree with you. Anytime the ball's in the air, Carlos or Deuce has a great shot at it. He's a great basketball player as well.
2nd and 15. Pass to Whaley. Makes one man miss, turns upfield. Gets back a gain of about 7 down to the Alcoa 13-yard line, where it will be 3rd and we'll say 8.
Marty Whitman Whaley was a great player on this team last year as a sophomore. He's a great player now. He has one more year left. He is
3 wideouts far side.
Fantastic.
Hammonds looks that direction and is going to be from the blind side.
And Marty, that's the first time that's happened. That's the first time he's taken a big shot tonight. and that was just a edge rush. We didn't have anybody responsible for blocking him, and that's the chance you take in that. But Brady got right back up, took his licking, and got back up.
So Giesling comes in for a 38 or 37-yard field goal attempt. Kick is up long enough, and it's good from 38.
He made it look routine, Marty.
Yep.
What a great job by Carlton Giesling. Sure his dad, Carl Giesling's proud of that. And his mom, I think is her name Carla? But I'm sure they're here watching. And Mr. Bill Giesling would have loved to see that.
So GP gets points out of their drive.
Marty, something I meant to talk about a little earlier, not to bring a great moment down, but the Gatlinburg-Pittman family lost a couple of great members this past year. Most recently, Mr. Eddie Schultz, whose son coaches. Both of his sons played here. His daughter went to school here. He has a grandson that's on the middle school team. Worked for you for many years at the community center. Very well-loved member of the community. Maybe the biggest funeral in the history of Sevier County.
And Eddie worked for me, and I told the family, everything you'd want as an employee, but he was an even better person. Eddie will be missed.
And one of the nicest guys in Gatlinburg, and his wife is just as nice, and all of his children are. And the other GP family member that we lost was Bud Ogle, and Bud's just like Mr. Eddie. And I always told Cindy, I said, you know, Bud's the nicest guy in Gatlinburg, and I really meant it. And of course, he played here and just did a lot for the community and did a lot for the school, and just great people, and certainly will be missed.
So Giesling to kick off. 9:12 left in the fourth quarter. Kick goes to the right side. It's going to be allowed to go out of bounds, so Alcoa will put the ball in play at the 35. 1st and 10 for Alcoa.
Carlton Giesling is a great weapon, and that's going to come in handy down the road in a tight ball game. Of course, Bud Ogle did a lot of things a lot of people probably don't know. Very philanthropic. I think he had donated a lot of money and had schools and orphanages down in Haiti that his family has run for a long time. Gave a lot to this community.
So 12, Graff at quarterback. Fakes a handoff, pulls it down. Same play that he scored a touchdown on. And it looks like he's going to have another one. So just like that, quarterback goes 65 yards.
Marty, this is not going to be fun on film study. We're talking about missed tackles. Of course, he had a hole to run through and missed tackle the air both.
And Alcoa's not had a single sustained drive tonight the entire ball game. Every touchdown's been big play.
Been big plays, yeah.
Tyson's kick is up. Good. So, with 8:59 left to go, that touchdown took 13 seconds for Alcoa to score. Alcoa leads 44-10.
And Marty, we've got an injured GP player down, but it does look like a cramp. I'm not sure I would want Dr. Enzo working on it, though. I believe I'd get the trainer on it.
It's my leg.
And that's been, that's been one thing for, probably almost 20 years now that's been a difference maker, is having great qualified, certified trainers. I remember when Scott Bird came here, and he was just really well liked in the county, and he's moved on to a bigger and better job, but he's made sure that we've all had highly certified trainers at each school. Marty, I think this might be Cuba Pack. He's played a a heck of a game and put out a lot of effort. I don't know how he couldn't be cramping, but it looks like he's got hamstring cramps in both legs.
And I don't think he would mind me saying this. Scott Bird just made a tremendous difference and ended up being in charge of all of the trainers in the county. And now he's with KOC. But Scott's had some issues lately too. We hope he's doing well.
See that Marty, offensive linemen stick together, and you see Coach Williams out there with his guy. And Cuba's going to have a hard time getting those cramps out and getting back in there. You just can't drink enough water to replace what you lose in a game like this.
So obviously this is a Thursday night game. Next week, Friday, back to Friday nights, Austin East, 7 o'clock. We expect a big crowd here at home next week. And, it's quite a complex. These new bleachers here, the field house that's under construction down at the end zone, and then you look around and you see Rocky Top up there and the community center and Mills Park. It is quite a complex.
And Marty, there's a lot of people that put a lot of effort into planning and building and getting all this done. But, of course, I really think that our old friend Jack Parton, Coach Parton, who used to coach here and was assistant principal here and baseball coach, this guy's done more for this county as far athletic facilities as anybody that's ever lived here. He's always tried to make sure each school got equal stuff. And but, I mean, the facilities are second to none. When people come here to visit and I show them what we have here, they just can't believe it. And, of course, Rocky Top is here. You know, we've got the Little League field down here, the track. I mean, and the community center, Boys and Girls Club. It's a pretty amazing campus.
Hammond still in at quarterback. 2 wide outs near side. Hammonds rolls this way. Throws underneath to Orr. Makes one man miss. Cuts back in the open field. And the guy has an angle on him. Can he make him miss? No, he runs Carlos out of bounds down around the 15.
And Marty, he was so fast. We had a guy down there that could have made a block. Speedy Garcia was in position, but that guy was so fast that he ran Orr down. But great throw and catch. Watch Orr's concentration. Breaks 2 tackles and then shows his speed.
65 yards on that play.
Deuce has had a fantastic game tonight. Can't wait to see the stats and see how many receptions he had. And he's caught a lot of those receptions in heavy traffic with great athletes all over him.
So 2 wide outs near side. Whaley goes in motion. Handoff of Vera, right side. Makes one man miss. Beautiful cut outside. There's a face mask. He's still up. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Got him, Burt Pittman.
What a run by number 18, Tegan Navarra, the great sophomore. And Marty, he does it all. What an incredible play. Look at great. Oh, what a move. Then breaks out of a face mask, had him by the ear hole, and then just runs through a couple kids to the pylon. Not only is that great talent, that's great effort.
So GP puts points on the board. Giesling will attempt the extra point. And if GP didn't move, Alcoa was offsides. And the officials have changed too. The head official is now a linesman. Maybe he had cramps.
Early season, hot weather.
Giesling with the attempt. Snap. Kick is up. Looks like kick is good. So 7:47 GP puts 7 on the board.
Same Alcoa player almost jumped again.
So Alcoa 45, Gallenberg Pittman 17.
Boy, Carlton Giesling is dead on.
It's going to be a weapon.
Marty, I see those guys every day at practice, and I have for a couple years now. They put the time and the reps in. Got great coaching, and I don't know. They may probably even go to some kicking camps, but it didn't just happen.
And Rob, middle school, you're coaching helping coach middle school on the defensive side of the ball. What's one game under your belt?
We are 1-0. We played Eagleton. Had a great game against them, and we play first in-county game is Tuesday night here at 6:30 against Pigeon Forge. And Pigeon Forge, I think, beat Northview tonight, like 28-26 was the last score that I saw.
So this is a Tuesday game?
It's a Tuesday game.
7 o'clock?
6:30.
6:30. So, folks, come on out and watch the future Highlander Stars, the junior high against Pigeon Forge.
Marty, I was a volunteer parent last year as well, and I got to know last year's 8th grade class, and I love watching those kids playing high school ball right now. There is a really good freshman class up here.
Giesling nearly kicked that out the back of the end zone.
Marty, it first hit the ground at least halfway through the end zone.
Right. Big leg.
Nice job, Carlton Giesling. Great
Junior,
kid on top of it.
He'll be back for another season.
And Marty, I would say that he might be a college kicker.
I think he definitely has the leg.
Marty, speaking of this freshman class, I've been around those boys a lot in football and basketball. And, of course, Jackson played with Logan Kuykendall on his AAU team with those 8th graders. And there's some really good athletes. And they've proven it. They've had a JV game and the Jamboree. Some of them played really well. Cecilio Rodrigo, Nathan Allen, Craig Husky, Elijah Spence, Leonard Pack, Luke Stewart. There's a good bunch right there, and that's just naming about half of them. Looking forward to Jackson getting up in the high school and playing with these guys.
So Alcoa will take over. Graff, who's had 2 long runs, hands off this time. Off the left side, cuts it back up the middle. And Rob, we obviously are well coached. Alcoa is well coached too. Pads low, the running angle. They're fundamentally sound.
Yeah, I think some of our guys are a little bit intimidated, like.
First and 10 for Alcoa. Graff at quarterback.
Marty, speaking of really good freshmen, Elijah Spence, number 17, is in the ball at corner right now. I guarantee you he won't back down. And there he is right there. Oh, he came up and put a good hit. Didn't knock the guy down, but that kid isn't afraid of anything on this planet. And he is a ball player.
Freshman.
He is a freshman, a great basketball and football player. I wish he would have made that tackle on that big kid. But watch him right here. He gets a great read. He just has a feel for football. He just ran into a 6'1", 230-pound junior that's probably one of the best players in the state of Tennessee, who at this point in the game, they should not be running the ball with him.
So another first down for Alcoa. Clock runs, 6:37 left to go in the ball game. And timeout asked for by Gallenberg-Pittman. I had only 10 players on the field, I believe. Yes, GP had only 10 players on the field, so coach spotted that, called timeout. 6:33 left to go in the ball game. Rob, any bears at your house lately?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of bears lately. Jackson and I went fishing in the park. We fished Cherokee Orchard and Roaring Fork last weekend and saw 9 bears in 2 days. Plenty of bears around. I can't feed my birds.
We can't either. We pulled in our driveway Sunday evening and Mom and 3 cubs in the carport. They were there earlier this year too, so they've been around. And the cubs have grown up a little bit. They look pretty healthy.
They weren't sitting in your boat, were they?
No, they weren't sitting in our boat. No, they weren't. Graff fakes a handoff, keeps the ball right side, a lot of running room. Cuts it back, still on his feet.
You know, talking about not quitting playing, you see Ben Reese and Luke Burkett it's like watching a pinball machine, that kid running, but they chased it and didn't give up on it. That's what you like to see.
So another first down.
Already got a few new numbers out there on defensive line. Number 74. I think that it's hard to see the numbers from here. That might be a freshman, Kyler Hooper, who played for us last year. A good, solid offensive and defensive lineman.
Raff, handoff, right side. And whoever that was over there, that was a good tackle.
I think that was Speedy Garcia, number 11. You see Ben Reese kind of losing his outside arm, kind of getting held there, but nice job by a corner coming up for support, making a good tackle. Anthony Garcia. Wish boys would turn this way so I'd get some more numbers here. Still got some kids that haven't come out of the game. Whitman Whaley, Ben Reese, Tegan Avera, Luke Burkett.
2nd and 10. Graff. Handoff off the right side.
And Marty, good defensive line play by number 70, Jackson Case right there. He just kind of swallowed that play.
That number 25 for Alcoa is a freshman, Blair Goodson.
And Jackson Case came out low and hard, blocking him to the outside. He just got rid of the block, found the football, made a very impressive tackle. Jackson's a big kid, and I think, Marty, he's only a sophomore. We don't have the height and weight for him.
So 3rd and 7 for Alcoa. Clock runs, 4:12 left to go in the ball game. Graff rolls out, throws down to the 2-yard line complete, and then into the end zone. That's a starter for Alcoa, so number 8, Colby Barrett.
Who has made several big plays tonight.
And you do wonder, leading 45 to 17, why you've got first teamers still in there.
And letting your outside linebacker run the football on offense.
Tyson's kick is up and may have been, no, it snuck in. Looked like it might have been wide, but they say it was good. So with 3:58 left to go in the ball game, Alcoa with a second half explosion leads GP 51 to 17.
And Marty, several times we've been 1 point away from the clock running. Marty, we've been playing football for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, GP's thrown a lot of passes tonight. Alcoa actually has thrown several too, so a lot of clock stoppages, a couple of injury timeouts.
Marty, it worries me that I haven't. Graydon Ware has not come back down to the sideline. It makes you wonder if they've taken him for an X-ray.
He's sitting on the sideline on the bench.
Oh, okay,
right there.
That's great to see. Number 34. Boy, I hate to see him after all the rehab and hard work that he's put in to have a setback with an injury.
Hopefully it's not serious. It was a lower leg injury, and then you wonder about it, but he walked up right before halftime, he walked up the steps by himself, unassisted, to the locker room, so hopefully it's not serious. Ball fielded by Avera.
He has a daughter that is a 9th grader that is going to be, or not, he has a sister that's a 9th grader that's going to be a heck of a basketball player, Addie Ware. Of course,
and I understand that Ty Glasper, the tremendous freshman basketball player for GP last year, his sister is coming over from Lakeview. Is it Lakeview Academy?
I think so, Lakeway.
Lakeway, and she's supposed to be phenomenal. I told Katie at an event, I didn't want to put any pressure on her, but somebody told me she had the best freshman class in the state coming in. I said, no pressure, though. GP basketball, men's and women's side, in very good hands. Brady drops back to throw. Looked out in the flat to Avera, and it looked like maybe Teagan wasn't expecting it, or it was the wrong side. 2:56. Now clock runs. I guess mercy rule. Now it starts. So a hard-fought game. Alcoa just big played GP to death here in the second half. Hammonds pulls it down. His receiver got knocked down.
Let's hope that's a cramp.
There's a late hit out of bounds. I believe it is a cramp. Carlos Orr went down. He was the intended receiver, and he went down, and Brady had to pull the ball down. Ooh.
Boy, it sure looked like a non-contact turned ankle to me. But yeah, you can see him. He's trying to get a cramp out.
So 15-yard penalty against Alcoa for the late hit. First down GP at the 45. 2:18 left to go as the clock runs here in the fourth quarter. Alcoa going to go to 2-0 on the season. GP will fall to 1-1. With a big game next week here, Friday night at 7 o'clock at GP against Austin East.
Also a Regent game.
Yes. Gets rid of it to Avera, out of bounds. And I have not mentioned it tonight. Of course, we've had some technical issues with the live stream. I don't know where it stands right now, but you can check the high school, Gatlinburg-Pittman High School website to find the link for the live stream broadcast, and then you can go to channel 193 Charter Cable in anywhere in Sevier County if you want to watch a replay, or you can go to YouTube or gattv.com. A lot of options if you'd like to watch the games again. 2nd and 8. Hammonds drops back. Throws. That's interference. And finally a call. We're going to get it. Pass was intended for number 11, Anthony Garcia.
And Marty, even this game being 52-17, I still look down here and just really pleased with the play of a lot of these players and our team and our coaches. I mean, we've done a good job. Alcoa is just that good. I mean, I really think if Alcoa was in 5A, they would have a legitimate shot at state championship.
Well, I saw Max Prep has a thing, Rob, where they rank them in their division and they rank them statewide. They're ranked 8th in the state overall, period, right now. First in our of course, in 3A. GP before this game was ranked 8th in 3A. But statewide, yeah, Alcoa is ranked 8th. So, yeah, they could compete in 5 or 6A. Legal procedure on GP. We'll bring it back 5. 23 seconds. There'll be time for one more play, maybe.
Tell you, we've had a lot of Ironmen play this game. Luciano, Pack, Burkett, Brady Hammonds, Whitman Whaley for sure, Deuce.
Tegan Avera.
Tegan Avera. I mean, these guys just haven't come out. Ryan Desir.
Brady.
Not Ryan Desir.
Rolls out of the pocket,
Jackson
has
Desir.
a lot of running room. Time has expired. Don't take the hit, Brady. Brady gets out of bounds. That's the end of the ball game. The final score, Alcoa 52, GP 17. And your impressions, Rob. You've mentioned a little bit, but talk about your impressions of GP tonight.
Well, my impressions are we're still a very well-coached football team. We've got great chemistry among the team and the staff. As Aaron Maple said, he's glad to see a GP team not back down. And even when the score is 52-17, all of our guys were out there still playing hard. And then some of the young guys came in and played well. So I'm very pleased with Gatlinburg-Pittman High School where we are right now.
So
just hope that Graydon Ware is okay.
So next Friday night, come on out and support the Highlanders against Austin East next Friday night at 7 o'clock. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. For Tana Myers, Katie Messer, Kevin Tierney, Rob Younger, this is Marty Nasi saying good night from Hammond Stadium, Legion Field.